And now it's time to look at the Batman. We're going to watch and look at the Batman. I'm going to give commentary for this. Batman 1943. What'd you think I was going to do? Lose my channel? Not over Robert Pattinson, surely. So, what we're looking at tonight, I'm only going to show the first chapter of this because it is a long 15 chapter series. Now, a little bit of history here. This is Bob Kane, Bill Finger. Uh, there was a movie called The Bat in 1927, 1926. I think they had a 1930s version that didn't have the Batman costume. I think. So there was a detective movie about a killer called the Bat who would prey upon his victims, and you had detectives and stuff. But the silent film was better, and I do believe you could find that on YouTube. You could find this on YouTube. So this should be okay to show because it is not only is it a Columbia Pictures movie, which obviously I don't think Warner Brothers has this, but also the themes in this would suggest that it's not appropriate for everyone. There's going to be some racial, and Nihongo tekeru. Tomodachi mada iwanai desu kedo, doshitarai. It's I don't know how to say she ikite nikui desu. Just to have people around and communicate is important. So I do honor the Japanese language, but unfortunately, this was at a time when you would say Jap and Ching and all this shit, and it's shifty eyed, slanty eyed people, and it was funny to make fun of the enemy of the friend of Hitler and the enemy of the U.S. So it was a different time. So because of the sensitivity and the nature of this, and we do have to be careful just in case there are any snowflakey people or millennial people who don't understand. I'm going to put it right now. Viewer discretion is advised. All right. So there you go. So now we're going to start. And so hold on. All right. Lower the sound a little bit so I can talk over it. Let's see if we can. So yeah, this is the first time Batman came into media, okay? I remember Bob Kane or Bill Finger, I think it was Bob Kane, talked about Frederick Douglass and Zorro being the inspiration. I don't know if that's completely true because I know that Jerry Siegel said that Douglas Fairbanks was the inspiration for Superman. So there was Zorro, because Zorro was the movie Bruce Wayne would watch with his parents before he lost his parents in a terrible in a robbery gone wrong. And then he became the Batman, right? And you would see the Zorro theme also in the season 5 of Gotham. This is the electrical brain. So I cannot find, and I was trying to find my VHS conversions from Good Times Video. Good Times Home Video had re-released these for the home video, not Betamax. So this is Lewis Wilson as the first on-screen Batman. And his son made some of the latest James Bond movies with, Daniel Craig. So his son is very famous as a director. He passed, Lewis Wilson, I think, passed away in, I think it was 2000. I don't know what he was doing all this time. I don't know if he was just sick and old or just retired. I don't know what he did. Nobody ever talked to this guy. Maybe it was because of the whole anti-Japanese, intolerance message here. But, it was a different time. People didn't know any better. They thought anybody who was Japanese was the enemy. They had the internment camps and all this shit, but whatever. So this is like an introduction here. So yeah, I had the VHS tapes, Good Times Home Video. The announcer that you hear was redone, re-edited with Gary Owens. Doc Ock his plans to stop Batman and Robin. It was that. And all the shifty-eyed characters, they took a lot of the foul language away. There were a couple of moments they couldn't do it. Maybe there was not enough time, but you do hear the word Jap in, pardon my language, in the VHS tapes as well. So that was their car. They didn't have. I remember a story. I think I think it was Yvonne Craig who said this, that Bob Kane was looking for his was asking about the Batmobile for one of the serials. I think either it was this one or the Batman and Robin serial from 1949. He said, "Here it is over there." It was like a Studebaker. I think DACA shows up in a recent comic book from last decade. I suppose it would be like Ken Watanabe, you know, if he had to do this again. But yeah, yeah, it was a different time. Black and white, no color, but there is a common denominator between this and the Adam West's color, the full color Adam West show, and I'll tell you, I'll share with you what it is. No Commissioner Gordon, but there is a Captain Arnold, fat ass Captain Arnold. At some point, he's like smoking cigarettes, and then you sort of learn cigarettes. Or if people stop smoking cigarettes because of what happens in like part 8 or part 9 of this 15-part serial, good on them. You're one of the 5 people that were smart to avoid getting lung cancer. But yeah, if like I say, if more people want me to do the other chapters, I'll do the other chapters. Just like the Donkey Kong requests, I haven't gotten any requests for that shit. But if anybody wants me to do the other 14 chapters, let me know. That is the lovely, the beautiful, good God, Shirley Patterson. Yeah, I mean, look up some old photos. She looked great. I remember seeing a couple of photos of her in 1986, and I don't know where those photos are because they're gone from the internet. They're somewhere out there, but they're not on the internet anymore. But they showed a picture. She had red hair, and she was at a convention of sorts or some event, and she died in '95. So, yeah, I wonder how they all felt after the war was over, and you had the 442 and the MIS, the infantry of Japanese American Army. Like, God, you have to have felt bad a bit. It's like, yeah, at that time, yeah, maybe it seemed like the right thing to do. But, if you go ahead to the 1950s and 60s when we went through Dr. King's birthday passed this Monday as of this recording. So, man, it was a different thing. So, yeah, it's the Linda Page in the comic books was the Actually, it was Julie Madison, and then Linda Page came second. Ultimately, everybody believes that Batman and Catwoman were meant to be. It was a shit that there was supposed to be a wedding in Catwoman number 50 or so, or one of the other Batman comics, and they never got married. It's all Dan Didio's fault. Yeah. Yeah, she was lovely. What a lovely woman. And yeah, I don't know how old she was when she passed away. She must have been in her 60s or 70s. And that's her uncle coming out. This guy on the left, right here, he reminds me of one of the Joker's goons. The one that gets out of the car. He reminds me of one of the Joker's. No, the Red Hood. When the fat guy and the skinny guy with the mustache, they tell Jack Napier, "Yeah, you got to do this thing, okay? You put on the Red Hood, and we're gonna go through the Ace Chemical Factory." And they both get shot because they knew his real name, right? They get killed, so they couldn't identify him as who he was, and that's when he becomes the Joker in the Killing Joke. Now that's what he reminds me. I think Brian Boland like watched this and it's like, oh, I have an idea. This is who should be one of the henchmen. And they do this. This is a stupid trick. That was kind of at the time they do this little stupid trick to fool Bruce Wayne and Batman. Oh yeah, he's seeing things. You're going with us. I'll sit back and relax. What do you want from me? We'll find out soon enough. I see. Oh, that's just a corker of a problem there. What a different time. I wonder. I could imagine her with the smartphone in her hand, be like, "I wonder what's going on in the news." Yeah, she was in like beauty pageants and all that. Yeah, they do this. There's a stupid trick that comes up. So yeah, that was kind of dumb. I was thinking back right now that they put like Ash Wednesday, they put these bat symbols on their foreheads. But that was this was long before Batman versus Superman, right? Where Ben Affleck puts the Batman symbol. He brands the symbol on people's foreheads. That's in part due to this movie, these serials. See, back then, well, the Superman cartoons came at the end of every Paramount movie, right? After the Paramount movie was over, then you'd watch watch this stupid trick. It changes color. It reminds me like when I collected Hot Wheels, they had those color changing cars. Some would change color in the sun, and others would change color in water. I had those little racers. I don't think I still have them today. I think I had one that changed from pink to purple. But anyway, what was I? Oh yeah, so you'd watch the Superman cartoons at the end of the Paramount. For this one, these were like TV episodes, okay? So like on your streaming service, you'd watch like The Sandman. I'm gonna watch The Sandman tonight. Some of the episodes are just put all together so you can binge watch. Uh, Disney Plus would have one episode per week. That's how they would do with the Star Wars stuff. Before that was cable and TV, and you stay tuned every week to watch the next episode, except for reruns. And you would do that for like 9 months out of the year, right? And then there's a break, season finale, season premiere. Before TV, though, before radio, when people go to the theaters, and if you wanted to watch the next episode, Chapter 2 of Batman, you had to come back to the theaters, and you pay a few cents, and you go and watch Chapter 2. Then the next week you watch Chapter 3. That's what 100-year-old people did back then. Okay? That's what 100-year-old people did. They did this shit. They would have to go to the theater. Yeah, see, he's a smart man. He got his he got his he got his bachelor's degree in the car. Oh my god. You can get old-fashioned actors who are studied in theater to talk that way. All right, put him right away. People don't talk like that anymore. People are more method. I must find the meaning of why we're in the cave of horrors. But I can't do it without you. Yeah, that's not that kind of acting here. Oh no. And they used to show these on ABC, like serials, like Wild West, like black and white serials, and this and Batman on ABC, like a few hours before Saturday morning cartoons and shit. Oh my god, what a time this was. Yep. Oh yeah, there's nothing racist about any of this stuff. So, so you got a caveman. I mean, it's when you look at it, it's kind of a well structured thing that you're looking at. Is it stupid? Yes. It doesn't function, and I like the headquarters. They got this technology where you could see X-ray people's hands and shit. But it was the same picture you see all the time. That's J. Carrol Naish, who did some of the black and white movies with Boris Karloff, and I think he did Dracula, but I think he did other ones, or one of those movies. And this was at a time when there weren't enough Asian actors. Now I'll give you a little bit of like trivia, okay? So with Charlie Chan was this fictional character detective, and Sidney Toller, who I don't think could have played anything else, was a white dude or a European dude playing playing Charlie Chan the detective. This was a black and white movie, and he had number 1 and number 2 sons. And between him and Walter Olin, they were all white actors who played Asian parts. And so J. Carrol Naish is playing this Asian dude, right? He's doing all the whole, like, if you see him in other movies, you could see he still sounds the same, but you'd wonder if you want to hear that Asian accent, because that's what you remember here. He does a very good job of it for that time. You know, it's like if one actor could do blackface, Al Jolson or whatever. But um, when I watched The Adventures of Superman season one, there was an actual Asian actor, and they were working with other white actors who were playing Asian people. So although that wasn't much to see an Asian actor play a reformed criminal in the Superman show with George Reeves, that was something. That was the first. I felt like that was the first step to Asian American actors getting like really good roles. Now some are ridiculous and some are better. I mean, like George Takei did not want to play the servant, and neither did his counterpart. Uh, I can't remember his name. He also played was it Harold and Kumar? That guy, John Cho. Yeah, John Cho didn't want to play the servant. He played the the Grubhub guy. He didn't want to do that. So yeah, so there's this whole thing about his friend, his old gambling partner in crime there turned into a zombie. Oh shit. Oh, see? It's me. Don't you know me? Yeah, I love that acting. That's old school acting. Now, if you try to do that shit, people laugh. Yeah. Yeah, this is, I mean, like back then, people must have been amazed by this nonsense. I mean, you had miniatures that you could show off. Sometimes you had big sets. I think there was a black and white silent film where you had actual child actors in a train, or maybe they weren't even professional child actors. They were in a train, like a miniature train that ran all over the place on the road. And they were just hanging on to this train and, okay, this is going to be a cool shot, you know? That was like the 1920s. Nobody gave a damn about anything. Nothing. Now they have child safety laws and all this shit, but way back then, they didn't give a damn. What's your answer? Oh, that's an unwise decision. I thought he was a smart man. What happened? What happened to that? Oh, well. Yep, they go down. I mean, I like the sets. I'm gonna admit that the one shining thing about this serial that's so cheap are the sets are really good. You got the laboratory, you got the sort of the inner dojo, right? You got the Cave of Horrors, you got the Bats Cave, you got Wayne Manor, of course, but I like that Dhaka's and also Dhaka has an alligator pit. There's like so many layers to Dhaka's hideout. You got the front, you got the carnival barker guy just saying, "Oh yes, and we're helping those people, those men and women in the war and all this shit, right? Those troops who are fighting for us, right?" And then you got the roller coaster. So there's so many layers to the set, like a giant play set. It really works. So he's turning him into a zombie. That's great. No, I did not. Yeah, I know some of these lines by heart. Yeah, so I mean, I have the VHS tapes, but I don't have a working VCR, and I don't want them to get ruined. Oh, he's gonna show us a secret weapon. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of layers to this shit. And also there's like an underground trap for Batman on the other side of the lab. So for a lab that, there's a lot of things to this. Look at that. What is that? Looks like they took some car parts and took a telescope and made that thing. I don't think they're bad actors. I think it was just, obviously it was like now today it's not acceptable, but um, there weren't a lot of minorities allowed to be in these roles, and it's every time that somebody had to break that barrier, it really fucking mattered. I mean, there are some that don't. There are some shows that don't. I mean, Kung Fu from the CW doesn't fucking work because I just didn't care. I just didn't give a damn. You know, I don't know about Crazy Rich Asians. I probably would be like, okay. Hollywood actors have Asian actors gone wild. The movie, and I was like, nah, nah, that doesn't work. Like, why am I supposed to care about that? Yeah, so that's the neutralizer, whatever the fuck it is, supposed to turn everything into shit. But now, watch this. But how do you not get cancer from just shooting that thing? And nobody's wearing any, like, I didn't think about this. Nobody's wearing any lead shields or anything. That thing would have just, like, if that thing shoots out radium beams, you would have been fucking dead. Well, I saw the Joe Rogan experience. Was it John Wayne? A lot of actors, they were doing films with John Ford movies near like fallout areas and nuclear power plants, and that's how they got cancer really quick. It's like, oh, that's not a big deal. Look, you get to see the nuclear power plants. Cool. Look at that. Yeah, so 15 parts. I'm not sure how long. I think it was over 3 hours. Now, there's different versions. I'm watching the oldest version of this on YouTube. So, yeah, I don't think Warner Brothers would ever want to re-show this, ever, ever, ever. I don't think they'd be too happy about it. I don't think they would be too pleased about it. I think they would just be like, yeah, no, that's not what we're going to be doing. Batman and Robin, maybe. But like that one was not as racist, but it was kind of like the story was all over the place. The canon was not canon to itself. And then after that one would be the '60s Batman show, and then the cartoons, and then Tim Burton, and I was off to the races. Yeah, they got to do a heist. So I think they were using. I mean, they used a lot of. These were the days where they didn't shoot on location. They had like these miniature buildings, or buildings that represented what downtown district looked like. Oh my god! The only time they shot on location was driving on the road, I think. I mean, they built their own things. They built their own buildings. That was the thing about that was one of the things I admired about Tim Burton was that he built his own Gotham City, and it looked like the Gotham City that it a lot of the though there's Art Deco shit. The only time she does any work, she's good at getting kidnapped and attacked by men. Uh, there he goes. It's Robin and Batman. Probably stuntmen. You just climb up there like that. Acrobatic. Yeah, it was like so the Art Deco stuff from the animated series was slightly different, but it was like inspired by that whole thing from '89. It was its own creature. No shit, they get on the rooftops. So there's a lot of set pieces here. And you can see the corners of the on the top on the left here, where it's kind of like this kind of circular film. See, I mean, you see the top corners are all kind of blackened a little bit. That's just the way the film was back then. There's something otherworldly about looking at a circle in a square, almost like you're looking at this through binoculars or a telescope. This is where they do the fight. Oh shit. Yeah, so this is kind of the bad guy's cheat. So at some point Batman has to get that gun. These are the special effects, boys and girls. No CGI. Stop motion wasn't even there for... I mean, stop motion was done like in Nosferatu, but they just... People weren't that creative back then. They just did whatever. Oh, shit.
Hurry! Get the police here quickly!
I like that shot where he just missed. I mean, this is like whirlwind, old school, like rough him up kind of fight. This is not martial arts kind of shit that we're so used to with the. I mean, I would say with some of the cartoons, the animated series, and the Batman Begins and Dark Knight. I wonder if Christopher Nolan was going to call the second movie Batman Ends. Anyway. Somehow he's able to see what's going on from where he is, even though he's probably like, a handful of miles away. Assuming he's like, what, 10 miles away from there? You just don't ask these questions. Oh, shit. Just scream and run away. Like, I didn't see shit. Now, here's the common denominator that this serial and the Batman and Robin have with the Adam West Batman of 1966. It's the Fall to Your Doom, or something like that, Batman and Robin in Peril. And every time Batman would have to get out. Now, this is kind of based on The Perils of Pauline. The Perils of Pauline was silent film, and then this would take after that. Dick Tracy, too. So, anyway, I'm Meister Drake. I hope you enjoyed the Batman. Never mind the racist shit, but whatever. And let me know if you want to see more chapters in the comments below. Goodbye.